Welcome to an Act 4 Media Review. My name is Gabe, and I'm here today with my girlfriend, the lovely Jetz.
Hi.
AKA Spider Jetz.
Spider Jetz.
And today, obviously, we're going to be reviewing
Across the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. But first, I'd like to promote, we are a new channel. We have our podcast now, The Fourth Act, where we talk about a variety of topics, a variety of fun topics.
Yes, indeed.
On movies, TV, other forms of entertainment. So go check it out. If you like this video, like, subscribe, share. If you don't like this video, like, subscribe, share. What? Like, subscribe,
What?
share.
What?
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So before we get into the review, just want to mention that we are going to have a spoiler-free section where we just give our general thoughts, and we will have a clear-cut moment where we say we are going into spoilers. That's your chance to get out, watch the movie, come back in as soon as you're done.
Honestly, though, why are you watching this without seeing the movie first?
Hey.
Not to shame.
Don't kick our audience out just yet.
Not to shame. I'm just kidding.
Well, spoiler-free. That's why we're doing it for them, and then they get to come back.
I guess that's true.
Smash that bell as hard as you can, and
Hit that like button.
Hit the like and all the stuff. Okay, so first, I'm going to throw it to you. What are your general thoughts on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse?
Oh my goodness. Talk about a long wait.
5 years.
5 years for something that was so worth it, in my opinion. I mean, I know, I don't know how much of that was from COVID. I can't remember if it was
definitely delayed because of COVID at one point. I think it should have been out last year.
I honestly think the first one was delayed too, because I remember.
No.
Really?
Well, not because of COVID, because the first one's 2018.
Obviously no, yeah, not because of COVID, but it was delayed because of other issues. But I remember seeing trailers for that movie when I was a senior in high school, which was 2016.
Jesus.
Yeah, so.
Well, you know what? They probably had the teaser trailer first, and then
maybe.
that takes a lot of time to come out. But back to this movie.
Yes, back to this movie.
Did you like it?
I
love it?
Loved it.
There you go.
I loved this movie.
I mean, look
so
at your
much.
outfit.
Look at me. I loved the first movie so much that
You're biased.
Yeah, this movie is.
And I got a Miles shirt on, but.
No, it was an amazing movie, and I loved every bit of it, and I think everyone should go see it. If you haven't seen the first one, go see the first one.
It's somewhere. I don't think it's on Netflix anymore, but
it's on Hulu. We watched it on Hulu, I think.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Pirate it, do something, go watch it.
Go either buy it, pirate it, or just go subscribe somewhere that has it, because you need to see the first one, and then you need to go see the next one, because shit gets crazy in this one.
Shit gets crazy.
Put
it on the DVD box. Shit gets crazy.
Yeah.
Or Blu-ray.
As quoted by Jetz.
Spider Jetz.
Okay,
and as for me...
Yeah, what did you think of this movie?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it too. I think this is definitely a part 1 of 2, which we already knew going into it. I think originally it was called Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, and the other one was called Part 2.
Uh-huh.
This definitely is a Part 1. And I think some characters get a full story arc in here. And I think... I don't want to say too much. I don't want to spoil it. So I'll leave it there. Some characters get a full arc in this movie, and it's great. And then other characters are clearly set up for the next one. And it does leave you wanting more.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Totally.
It definitely leaves you wanting more. But overall, I loved it. I definitely recommend it. If you haven't seen the first one, like Jet said, go watch it. Go watch this one. Get ready for next March when the third one comes out.
Yeah, it's coming out next March
9 months?
already. 9 months.
Have a baby.
Have a baby.
Have a baby.
Time.
Take that baby to go watch Spider-Man.
Well, maybe not. Don't take that baby to go watch
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man.
Don't take it to my theater.
Yeah.
But you do whatever you want.
No, don't ruin it for everyone else. Don't take a baby to a movie theater.
Okay, now is there anything we should mention? Anything that you want to mention before we go into spoilers? Just any spoiler-free thoughts? Like, what do you think about the soundtrack? What do you think about the different art styles? Or do you think that's too spoilery?
I don't think so. I do want to say that they definitely step up the art style in this one, like whole nother level. Like there's certain scenes where it's just like the style just tells part of the story too, and it's like, oh man, it's just, they just get you, man. Like the first one, they get you with like the comic book kind of look of it, but this one they kind of, like I said,
take it one step further.
Yeah, they take it another step further, and
that's what a good sequel should do. Is it should take all the elements that worked for the first, and then take it, up the ante, take it a step further. And I think this movie does do a good job of visually taking it a step further, thematically taking it a step further. I was a little worried going into this movie. I think I mentioned it on the top 10 videos or top 10 movies of all time video / podcast. The Fourth Act, baby. Go check it out.
Please do. On
Spotify and your YouTube. Favorite podcast services and YouTube, and check us out on Twitter and Instagram and anywhere. But I was a little worried going into it because it had a long runtime. I do consider Into the Spider-Verse as perfect as you can get. I know no movie, nothing is perfect, but in my mind, like a 10 out of 10, what I would consider perfect, Spider-Verse 1 is. So I was a little worried going into it. Like I knew it was going to be good, but to match, not to surpass it, but even to like match the first movie was going to take a lot. And I can honestly say that it did.
Oh.
And honestly, this is the first time we're talking about it. We haven't talked about it in like 2 days. We saw it on Thursday.
And it is Saturday now.
We're recording it Saturday night at like almost 10 p.m. And you're dressed like that.
And I was dressed like this
and
when we saw it too.
We're drinking wine. And we're having a good time.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, is this a spoiler-free question? Do you like this one more than the
That's what I was going to mention. Final thoughts, spoiler-free thoughts. I'm going to say no. I don't like to immediately watch a movie and say it's better than one of my top 10 all-time favorite movies. I think it's going to take a couple more watches. Let it marinate a little bit. I can see it though. I can see it being better eventually. It definitely hit all the feels that the first one does. Maybe more. And we'll get into that in the spoilers. But last thing before we go into spoilers. I guess same question to you. Can you confidently say you like this one more than the first?
No, I'm sorry. I love the first one way more.
Way more? Wow. Because you see, to me, they're like neck and neck.
Okay. You know what? I have to take that back.
You said way more.
Not way more. It's just the first one. It's just like, oh man.
Well, the first one made you buy that costume. Like you've had that costume for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And you've worn it like 5 times since.
Yeah.
You keep finding reasons to.
Yeah, I have different reasons to wear this costume. I don't know. It's just the first one is everything. And the second one does have some parts that I think are better than the first one. And but we'll get into that later. But no, the first one just has a spot. You definitely like the first one more. I definitely like the first one more, and I'm not saying that this next one has like any major flaws or it's like not as good as the first one, because this second one is like a strong, like there's just this much keeping it.
I'm actually shocked you're saying that. We'll get into that in the spoilers, but I think that the first one has the edge on it. Is like it's a complete movie. You get the whole arc, where this one they do leave some stuff open for a reason. Final question. I know I keep saying that. Final question before we get into spoilers. What do you rate it out of 10?
I never thought about that.
We gotta do it now for the spoiler-free people, otherwise they'd never hear it. You want me to go first?
If I had to rate it, no. Let me go first.
Okay.
I want to.
Well, the first one, do you give a 10 out of 10 too?
The first one, I definitely would give that one a 10 out of 10. I'd say this one is like a 9 out of 10.
That's exactly where I have it. Okay. What? You're gonna go lower?
I do want to give it a 10. Actually.
Yeah, we don't do 0.5s here. I told Misa we don't do that.
Okay,
here. 9, it's 1 through 10. 10-point system.
9. A 9 out of 10.
I agree. And it's, I said this before on another episode, I think, but it's not that it did anything wrong. I think the only reason why I don't give it a 10 is because, again, there's some stuff left open, and maybe my mind will change. Maybe I'll watch it again and be like, you know what? It's perfect as is. It's perfect as a part 2 that sets up a part 3.
Yeah.
But
and in between,
those are our thoughts. Definitely loved it. Definitely recommend it. Again, definitely go watch the first, watch the second. Even if you're an adult and you don't have kids.
Oh, yeah. If you don't have kids.
If you feel weird about it or something, just go on like a Sunday morning while everybody's at church.
Yeah, and it'll be cheaper too. You got matinee.
Get matinee. As of now, we are going to go into spoilers, this is your chance to leave. I like to give people a couple seconds. Maybe right now, like they're driving and they're picking up their phone. Oops, it fell.
Oh no.
Oh, where did it go? I can't find it.
Don't even throw in those hypotheticals, because then it's like, oh, what if the phone's on the floor and they're like reaching over and they're not paying attention?
Well,
oh my god. And then it was just, oh god, 5-car pile up.
Oh god, Final Destination.
Final Destination.
Okay. I think we have enough time. Spoiler section starts now.
If we had an air horn, I would put an air horn.
Well, what do we have? Woo! Spoiler section.
Yeah, spoiler section.
Where do you want to go first? You can go anywhere you want. We're not going to go in order. We're kind of just going to ramble for like who knows how long. It could be 15 minutes. It could be an hour.
I think you know exactly.
I don't.
Where I want to go first.
You know what? Let me hold your thought.
Okay.
We're going to go there right after. But based off what you said in the spoiler-free section, you said that it's definitely, at first, you said you liked the first one way more. I know you took that back, but I'm surprised you even said that, even for a second. Because based on your outfit and based on this story and this movie, this is Gwen's movie.
Yes.
Like, back to my comments as well. So Miles, we don't get his full story in here. Like, we set up, like, this movie is really about choice. That you have to make a choice and you have to, live and die on that choice. Even if it's good, a good choice or a bad choice, no matter what the outcome is, you made that choice and you have to live with it. And, you got to take the good with the bad.
You know what's interesting? I know we were not about to start talking about the themes and everything, but...
Hey, we're just going to rant. We're going to go wherever we go.
I actually took some of the themes as creating your own destiny and breaking your own cycles or breaking cycles. I had right here,
your future is in your hands.
Yeah, your future's in your hands. Like, you have control over breaking cycles that you, like, it's not healthy. And
right. Now, you see, that's what the story is about.
Yeah.
At least on Miles' end.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't put too much thought into Gwen's end just yet. I think she has a different character arc. We'll get into hers.
Yeah.
We'll eventually get back up this rabbit hole. But see, the story sets up Miles' story. It is set up that way, and it's almost like, oh, I'm going to do my own thing, which we'll talk about that train scene later. But at the end, we see, no, you did make a bad choice, and there's this whole other universe. Well, it's not his choice, it was kind of just destiny. He didn't have a choice in the Spider coming out and the Spider-Man not being in that universe. But we see the effects of these, the multiverse and and messing with destiny and messing with fate and trying to change stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that character arc still isn't done. We still don't know if our future's in our hands. We don't know if we're supposed to be messing with stuff, but I'm sure at the end of the third one, Miles will be right, or we'll see. Because this one definitely wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Now, to bring it back to the Gwen part. Now, this story starts with Gwen and ends with Gwen. Like, this is her movie. It's like Thanos and Infinity War, where it starts with Thanos, ends with Thanos. This is Gwen's movie. And your favorite character is Gwen. So what happened? What went wrong? Go ahead.
You know what? I don't know. I actually haven't thought about it like that. I'm sure, maybe give me another rewatch and give me another 2 months.
That's a long movie.
It is. But no, that was definitely the one thing that caught me right away, is like, oh my God, we're getting so much Gwen time. So much of her backstory and
I remember asking you before we started watching it, do you think we're going to get some Gwen backstory? And we ultimately decided, no, there's probably not any time for that. We were wrong. The whole beginning, the whole 10 minutes is before the first title card too. The whole 10 minutes is just Gwen's story.
It's her, what happened between her and her father, basically
in before Spider-Verse and
Spider-Verse.
After.
Yes.
Before Into the Spider-Verse and after.
Yes.
And we kind of catch up with her. And she kind of, she's struggling. She doesn't have a place where she belongs. And then the only person she does have, her dad, kind of turns his back on her when he finds out that she's Spider-Man or Spider-Woman. Spider-Gwen. And that's when she leaves, and she's kind of just running away from that confrontation. Yeah. And she is with that group, not because she believes in them and what they want to do, but she doesn't want to go back home.
Because she doesn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
That's what she said. I don't know what to do.
Oh, a bunch of teenagers running away. This was just a runaway movie.
Yeah.
Wrapped in all this spider shit.
I guess that's kind of true. It is a runaway movie.
And she got home, faced her dad, but while we're talking about Gwen in the beginning, let's just talk about the art styles, because that art style for Gwen's universe was incredible.
Yes, exactly. It was very watercolory and
Yes.
like, oh my god, it reminded me, kind of reminded me of Everything Everywhere All at Once when it would switch between different like universes.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Well, what was it doing there? Like whenever it was getting emotional, it like the watercolors were
running,
Not running,
or I guess they were changing.
dripping. Well, there was that too. Like they were changing colors, but then
Yeah.
once she was like talking about her feelings or something emotional was happening, all the colors were dropping. And when she hugged her dad,
It
finally,
turned to white.
well, it turned like warm colors. Like it was like red around them. But yeah, like the background turned. I think you're right. It turned to white. Any other art styles from the different Spider-Mans? The Spider-Mans that you liked?
Hello, the Lego Spider-Man.
He was barely in it, but yeah,
That
the Lego scene was hilarious.
So amazing.
Why was it so funny?
I don't know.
We've seen a whole Lego movie.
I think it's just because we probably weren't expecting
Yeah.
it. Like,
I think that was the first, like, holy shit, we're doing some crazy shit this time around, like different universes. And then after that, we started getting the live action stuff.
no, dude, and I think what was so great is that he was taken so seriously.
The Lego Spider-Man?
The Lego
he was,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was on Miguel's team,
Yeah.
on Spider-Man 2099's team.
Yeah.
He informed him. He kind of got the story going.
Yep.
So yeah, I like how this one had a bunch of different art styles. The first one kind of does too. Kind of,
but it just takes its own step in animation, which is like already enough.
yeah. Like it feels
It's
like
already
these other
enough.
universes could be a whole nother movie with a new art style,
Yes.
and they were all in the same one. But they still blend together. They still look good, like when you see all of them together. Now, let's just talk about the new characters. Now we had a bunch. Let's go. Fine. Where do you want to go first? Can I guess where you want to go?
Where?
Hobie, Spider-Punk. Is that where you're gonna go or no?
One of the two.
Okay. Well, who are you gonna talk about?
The girl, the pregnant.
Well, it's Spider-Woman, but
Spider-Woman.
she is. Why am I forgetting? Jessica Drew,
Jessica Drew,
played by Issa Rae.
How awesome! A pregnant Spider-Woman who rides a motorcycle.
Which,
She's
by the way,
badass.
that didn't go anywhere. Maybe in the third one.
It will in the third one.
Is she gonna have her baby in the third one? It's a little dangerous to be fighting around with the.
Dude, you know what I immediately thought when they were pulling that one thing from the helicopter? Remember what I think it was when they first were trying to capture Vulture and they were trying to get the helicopter.
Okay,
from
you thought her
crashing.
baby was just gonna pop out?
Not that, but I just know that you're not supposed to be lifting heavy stuff, and she was like, I'm like, "Girl, your baby is gonna." Yeah.
Well, she
your
has
baby's
super
gonna
strength.
pop
Maybe
out.
it's not that heavy for her.
I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe pregnancy rules don't apply the same.
I just don't know where they're going with that.
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing?
I don't know. Maybe
Because it wasn't mentioned at all. Besides, like, oh yeah, I'm
in the
pregnant.
beginning, yeah. And they also mentioned that they don't know the sex of the baby yet, so
Where's that going?
I
It has
don't
to play a big
know.
role in the third one. Okay, well, yeah, she was cool. It's cool that she fights with her motorcycle. Like, that's
Yeah.
part of her moveset. Up next, let's already mention it, Hobie.
Hobie.
I thought I wasn't going to like him because I thought he was supposed to be like the douchebag ex-boyfriend or something like that. He ended up being one of the coolest characters.
Oh my god, the
Played
best.
by Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah.
I forgot he was in this movie until I heard his voice and I was like, that's Daniel Kaluuya.
I didn't even recognize that as him. That accent was so thick, I barely
That's it.
understood
Yeah.
what he was saying.
That's why I recognize it.
Yeah. Is
But-
he British?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Every actor is. Everyone.
Every good actor.
Except for like Leonardo DiCaprio
yeah. He's the only exception.
and Tom Cruise.
Christian Bale's British?
Yeah.
Wow.
You remember when his rant on Terminator? You keep walking through the fucking set. La-di-da-di-da. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Oh shit.
He broke character for that. Anyway, back to some new characters. What do you think about Spot? Because we didn't get a conclusion there either. But like, he is the main villain. It's just we set him up here, and he
I remember him.
ends up being a threat.
Yeah, I remember him from the after credit scene in the first movie. Never.
Spot?
Yeah, he's in the very last after credit scene. Yes.
You're making this up.
I'm not making
Spider-Man
this up.
2099 is at the end of the first movie.
Really? I could have sworn he's in
Remember,
some sort of after
they
credit scene.
they do the whole pointing thing?
Yeah, but isn't there like not one more, like another one after that?
No.
I swear, I remember seeing him in some sort
right.
of after credit, some sort of somewhere. and I was like, "Huh, what is that?
Is
That's
that a
weird.
spot?
What?
You saw a
what's
black circle somewhere, and you're just like, huh?
No,
That spot?
it was the figure of him like all hunched over.
If
and
you're
all
right,
weird.
my mind is gonna be blown.
But I thought no, I did like that whole throwaway. Well, not throwaway, but that whole they made you think that he was just like a villain of the movie or villain of the
Villain
week.
of the week is what they called him.
Yeah, they called him villain of the week.
Yeah, at first he starts off like a joke, and then he slowly is getting stronger, and
He's learning his power.
and he's getting more and more motivated. I like how this definitely felt like a true sequel to the first, where the events of the first, like the Collider gets brought up a lot in this one. The events of the first affect this movie.
Yes.
And when we were rewatching Into the Spider-Verse going into this one, it's like we've definitely seen that movie over like 20 times together. But it wasn't until this last rewatch when I pointed it out, I was like, you know what? Like, where did the spider come from? And it's so funny that in this movie they answer that question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had theorized that, and I think I had said that maybe it came from another universe.
Well, because you pointed out, yeah,
it glitched. We noticed that it glitched.
Because it glitched. I was like, oh yeah, so it has to come from a different universe. So they answer that question in this movie, and Spot retroactively was one of the scientists in there. So he says that Miles. Yeah, and he threw the bagel at him too. Yeah. So Miles created him, but he created the spider, right? Didn't he create the spider, or
he brought the spider from another
with
universe.
the Collider? So
yeah.
So he was saying that he turned Miles into a superhero, and that Miles turned him into a monster.
Yes.
Perfect motivation.
Yes.
They set it up in this one. He starts off as a joke. And just like that power of different dimensions and everything and portals make for cool fight scenes. So hopefully in the third one, now that he's super strong and we get that new team going up against him, it's going to be great. Now I have a whole list of characters here. We don't have to go in depth on all of them because we're going to take forever. But Scarlet Spider, he's Ben Reilly. He's actually a popular Spider-Man. He's like the one. He was like the really sad one, like the depressed one.
He looked all ripped up.
Yeah, he has like a blue. It looks like
buff.
a sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know too much about him. I just know that he is a fan favorite, and he didn't really do much in this one either. So I'm wondering if they're gonna do something with him on the second one. He's actually played by Andy Samberg.
Oh,
so I wonder.
God.
Yeah, so I wonder if they're gonna do something with him, or if that was it, just a one-off. Spider-Man India / I think his name. I'm gonna mess this up. Is like Pavitr Prabhakar.
Dude, have you looked at it? It looks like a pun on Peter Parker.
Yeah, that's the point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, all their names are like Peter Porker, the pig.
Peter
in the first
Parked
one.
Car.
All the little references.
Oh my god.
So yeah, we'll go to all the Easter eggs right now too, but just really quick, Spider-Man India is like what they're calling him. He's just Spider-Man, but the India one.
Good, great. Love.
He's great. He hasn't been broken yet. I think they mentioned he's only been Spider-Man for a couple months, and like that was supposed to be the moment where like his girlfriend's dad dies, which is a captain, and Miles messed with that. So we'll see if that plays into anything later. I mean, it definitely played into it in this movie that now the universe is kind of cracking in on itself.
The only way it... Oh, that is true. That is true. Oh,
Oh man, is this one better than part one?
Oh no. Where's the... Oh.
Ooh, too many noises.
Oh man. There we go. Took me 6 tries.
But it's a blue button. The best button is the blue one. Just remember that.
Okay.
And then there's spoiler. Woo! Whenever we're gonna spoil something.
The spoiler warning.
The spoiler button. So again, don't want to go through all the characters, but I think we did. We went to... Okay, we definitely got to go to this character, and then we'll move on, which is the main villain or antagonist of this movie. Miguel O'Hara, he says. Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, and it's cool that they made him a vampire in this one. I don't know if he always is. I don't know much about Spider-Man 2099, but I didn't expect him to be a vampire.
That kind of makes me question his legitimacy as a
Why? We got Blade. Blade's a good vampire.
Well, I mean, the fact that he's a vampire doesn't mean shit to me, but like, does that make him a good Spider-Man? Does that make him a Spider-Man at all?
That he's a vampire?
He's a vampire, yeah.
I mean, there's a Lego one. Well, okay, so I don't draw the line at that he's a vampire. But what do you think about his motivations? Do you think he's in the wrong? He's in the right?
I think he's lying. I'm gonna give it to you straight. I think he's bullshitting.
That's funny, because so do I.
I think
there's something more there.
Yeah, there is something way more there. His web. I don't buy it. I don't.
So you don't
buy
think
it.
he's a Spider-Man at all?
I think he's trying to be a Spider-Man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think he's trying to take control.
See,
of
I thought he was a
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, but something wrong happened to him, and now he's tricking everybody else into thinking that this is the way to do it. But I didn't think about that maybe he's just not a Spider-Man at all.
Well, let me ask you this: Did he even go into his whole bite story? Because most of them do. I got bitten by a radioactive spider and blah 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 blah.
So he just got bit by a vampire or a bat?
I don't know, but that's what I'm trying to find out. Is like, does he tell his story about mentioning that he got bit?
I don't think he does.
Because most of them do. I got bit by a radioactive spider, and blah 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 blah. Or at least my memory.
You're blowing my mind right now. All right, we got to watch it again because I think you're right. I think you're onto something here. Okay, so Easter eggs. Since there's plenty in this movie, or just one, like there's a bunch of comic Easter eggs. There's like some animated ones, like that
video game.
The video game one, yeah, it's funny seeing all these. See that's when I think that all the Spider-Mans don't mesh well. Is like when you see live action ones next to a Lego one, next to but whatever. It's all in good fun, and like the main characters are, originally animated. Whether they're different art styles, they are. I think that even though they look different, they still look like they can be together, right? Like when you see all the Spider-Mans together, it doesn't look weird.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we do see like a Tom Holland next to Miles, next to Lego all at once. But maybe on the next one, though, they'll get crazy and have everybody.
Wouldn't that be something?
But go ahead. Who is your favorite Easter egg?
My favorite? Oh, God.
I already know the answer.
Hold on. I think I wrote it down. Oh, no, I didn't write it down.
I already know the answer.
Oh. Yep. Yes. Donald Glover.
Donald Glover
as the Prowler. Yes.
He actually has a lot of relation to the character. And I didn't realize, like maybe I heard it before and forgot, but like Miles apparently was based off of Gambino or Donald Glover dressing up like Spider-Man and like trying to be a live action Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know if it must be from the comics that they were inspired by that, made Miles.
Well, I remember it's funny that you bring that up because I remember someone asking or saying to him like Spider-Man can't be black, and then he was saying like why not? Like he's a kid who lives with his aunt that likes art and lives in Brooklyn.
You say aunt?
Yeah, I say aunt.
Aunt May?
Aunt May. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I do say Aunt May.
Aunt.
I think Aunt May just comes out naturally, but aunt. Who lives with his aunt?
Yeah.
Who lives with his
it seemed like he got the character better than most people.
Yeah.
But on top of that, he was the first one to voice Miles in the cartoon. Mm-hmm. And then he played the Prowler in the MCU version. And now he plays the Prowler again. I like to think that it's the MCU version, but not until it's actually confirmed, which it won't be until he's in a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. But we'll see. But it is so cool seeing him right there. We did pop for that one.
Oh, I lost it.
Let me see. So yeah, the PlayStation Spider-Man's on there. We obviously see old footage of Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and we see the Venom universe, but who gives a shit, right?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit about Venom?
The one thing that bothered me is that there was someone in our theater who popped for Venom.
When we saw No Way Home 2 at the end, when Tom Hardy pops up, a couple people were like, oh!
No,
it's like, who cares?
Shut up. Venom wasn't that good.
We're such haters.
Yeah, sorry.
If you enjoyed Venom, good for you.
If you enjoyed Venom, click that like button.
Yeah, if you hate Venom, hit that like button.
Hit that like button too.
If you love Venom, hit the like button.
Why not?
Now, finally, I say finally like we're going to wrap up.
No.
We're 30 minutes in right now, but I feel like we still got like another 30 to go because now we're going to talk about just our favorite moments. Where do you want to go? Straight to the end?
Dude, I think, no, I don't even know. I think the beginning had already started getting me crying. Like, I was feeling emotional in the beginning.
Like Gwen's story?
It's Gwen's story. Anytime we were just talking
you know what gets me emotional?
What?
Is whenever his parents are talking to him about like some real life shit.
Yeah.
Like when his mom is giving him that speech that we hear in the trailer about, like
the little boy who's taking care of him.
Right.
Oh, so beautiful.
Her little boy turning to her little man or whatever, little man not being her little boy. And about him. Yeah. Just all that shit of just, getting ready to jump into the real world. Now, obviously, we can relate to that, like going into the real world, even though his real world is going to the spider universe. Like, obviously that's just, that's just, what's the word I'm looking for? That's just like the coat.
Yeah.
The coat over it is the spider shit, but it's a real human story about growing up. And that's what the first one is too. And it's about family too. And a thing I noticed on the first rewatch, not noticed, but really appreciated, was the father-son dynamic. And that continues in this one. How Spider-Man and what's his name? I mean, Officer, it's Davis, right?
Jefferson?
Davis.
Jefferson.
Officer Davis, right?
Oh.
Or am I tripping?
I don't know. Davis Morales? You think that's his name?
He doesn't have two last names. Davis Morales.
Well, that's his name, right? That's their last name, Morales?
Well, I think there's something there. Like, I think the mom keeps the last name. I think he takes the last name. I could be wrong. But I think so, because Aaron Davis is his uncle.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he's Officer whatever. Point is, his dad, being a cop, is now cool with Spider-Man. Like, they work together, and he kind of talks to Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're talking about how the cop is now cool with Spider-Man, right?
Right, yeah, his dad.
Okay, yeah.
And all right, let me just throw this at you. Do you think his dad knows that he's Spider-Man?
I want to say yeah.
I feel like he does. Like, I feel like he's talking to Miles, knowing that he's talking to Miles, but also knowing that he can express himself, knowing that Miles can't defend himself,
Honestly, yeah, and that's probably what he does,
I feel like he has to die in the third one, and they're going to have that talk of like, hey, like, I know you're Spider-Man.
Well, can I ask you this? Does that happen in the video game?
In the video game, not with Miles, but it happens with Peter. And it usually happens with Peter that like Aunt May knows that he's Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the game, it's cool because he reveals, Aunt May's dying and he has to cure. So it's either cure Aunt May or cure everybody because there's only one cure. So they can replicate the cure. So obviously he chooses to save everybody. That does sound familiar to this story. And then Aunt May is like dying on her deathbed, and she says, and Spider-Man's there, not Peter.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, take off your mask so that I can see my nephew. So she always knew. So that's what I'm saying. We always do that with Spider-Man stories. So I wonder if his dad already knows.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of feel like his parents do already know, because why would, like...
Either mom or dad has to know. I don't think they both do.
Okay.
So moving on, let's talk. Let me throw out a scene to you. We talked about some emotional scenes already. Now, there's no What's Up Danger scene in here because he's already grown. He's already Spider-Man. He's already a man.
He had his What's Up Danger scene already.
But we get a cool scene where, because I thought he was just running away. So this spoiler section, so I'm assuming everybody has seen this. So I'm not going to lay out the whole scene. But when he's running away from Miguel and he's going on the train and everything, Miguel's like telling him, like, do you even have a plan? Like, you're just running. You don't even know where you're going. And I didn't think he had a plan either. I thought he was just running. But they go up this train that for some reason goes up to like heaven or something. They're all the way in the sky. And Miguel's talking all this shit to him. And he's revealing to him and revealing to us that Miles, like the reason why he doesn't want him here is because Miles is the original anomaly. Like he's talking shit. He's kicking his ass. He's choke slamming him on the train. And he's telling him, like, you're the problem. You're the reason why all this is happening. You're the original anomaly. And I thought normally, I think like younger Miles would have been like, oh my God. But he was just like, he just brushed it off. He was just like, yeah, whatever. And then that's when he says the line. He says, like, everybody keeps telling me how my story's supposed to go. Nah, I'm going to do it my way. Shocks him. And he had a plan. He said he drew all the Spider-Man away so that he can go back and then go back to his universe so that he can save his dad. Incredible. So that's like the What's Up Danger scene where it's like, oh, okay, Miles is like, this is Miles now. The first one was about him becoming a man. This one is like, no, he is definitely a man. He knows how to handle his shit and he has a plan and he's going to go fix it. No matter what anybody tells him, like his mom told him, no matter what anybody tells you, you got this shit. Believe in yourself. So he goes and then he goes into the whatever. What do they even call it? It's like a collider. They go,
it was something very on the nose of like universe and
that's cool, by the way. A giant spider comes and like grabs all these like webs and shit and reads your DNA and then sends you back to your universe. But Miles, or let me not go there yet. So I said I wasn't gonna say the story, and here I go doing the story. I'm just setting it up because it was so good. So he goes to his own universe. He finally reveals to his mom after so long that you're like, just say it, just say it. He tells his mom, excuse me, I had a burp. He tells his mom that he's Spider-Man.
He spilled his guts.
He spills his gut. Is that a saying?
Yeah, I spilled my guts.
He spilled his guts all over his mom. And so she plays, or she doesn't play it off. She has no idea what he's talking about.
She laughs at it.
She laughs at him. She's like, what the hell? What's a Spider-Man?
Is that something you dress up as at Comic-Con?
And then he starts putting it together. And then Gwen is outside the window hearing this whole conversation, but she's not. She's actually in his universe. He's in the wrong universe. And she says that he's in the wrong universe.
But
because the spider read his DNA, and he went to the original, well, where the spider came from that bit him, it's in his DNA. The venom's in his DNA.
Yes.
So the other spider, the big giant web spider, multi-dimensional one, sent him to the universe of the spider that bit him, which is a universe that didn't have a Spider-Man, because that spider never bit anybody.
Yep.
It's like the nerdiest shit ever, and it's the coolest shit ever.
Yep. Something that I never even thought of.
What are your thoughts on all of this? I rambled.
It's mind-blowing. It's so creative and something that is just so blatantly there. Like,
and it's so well set up.
So much sense. Yeah, and it's so well set up.
They had to have a little scene where they like, oh, it read his DNA. Because I didn't get it either. I was like, why is he in another universe? And they did explain it earlier. The spider reads the DNA, sends you to the universe.
Yep.
So good.
So good. And so
And what a good twist.
Oh, dude, just like every Spider-Man movie. Every good Spider-Man movie has a good twist.
Yeah, usually with like a villain or something. This was next level.
Yeah.
Because I believe that he was there with his mom. Like at no point did I think like something was up.
I did for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. The room looked a little bit more.
You know what I thought happened? I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
What I thought happened was he went back to his universe, but to a point after his dad was already dead.
Oh.
And like there wasn't a Spider-Man anymore because Miles was gone for so long or something, or just something. Like I was just like,
that can make sense.
Because I thought there was like some time shit going on. But even better. This is why I'm not a writer. Even better. He's in the wrong universe. And then we see on top of that, we see Uncle Aaron come in the room. And she's like, okay, what the hell is going on? And I thought Uncle Aaron was going to be like his dad, which I would have thought was lame. Like, oh, in this universe, his dad is Aaron. Whatever. I'm glad it wasn't. Again, good thing I'm not a writer.
Uncle Aaron, yeah.
But
Uncle Aaron knows right away that that's not his Miles.
Well, he does, but we don't know that yet. So he then takes Miles, tells him, oh, like let's go, whatever. And so clearly he's giving money to the family. Like he's doing all this shit. Gives money to the family. So him and Miles leave, and as soon as they go to the rooftop, Miles gets knocked out, which looks like the Prowler. And then he wakes up on the punching bag, which we've seen in Spider-Man. So he's in Uncle Aaron's apartment, and he's tied up to it. And he's all telling, he's pleading his case, saying he's in the wrong universe, whatever. I know you're the Prowler or whatever. And he's just like, I'm not the Prowler. And he has the glove on too. Like he's putting the glove on, looking like he's going to use it. And he's like, oh, I'm not the Prowler. Miles looks up and then sees the Prowler. And at that point, we already know.
We're already
looking at each other like, oh shit. And
then you see the braids.
He lands, he walks up to him, takes off. Or does he have braids underneath the helmet?
You could see this braid,
okay.
The braids through the helmet.
But regardless, he takes off the helmet. You can definitely see the braids. And gets in the light, and you see that it's Miles. In this universe, Miles didn't turn to Spider-Man. Well, they have no Spider-Man, but I'm assuming Miles was supposed to be a Spider-Man there. And instead, he's the Prowler. They look at the whole city. The whole city's messed up. It looks like Gotham City. And then we cut to credits.
Yeah, cliffhanger.
Well, not yet. There is one more scene. But before that, again, I rambled. You want to mention anything there? About how much your mind was blown?
Well, that kind of makes you think, what was supposed to happen to this Miles? The Miles that we know?
He was supposed to be Spider-Man and have the life that this Miles took from him.
I'm talking about the Miles that we've been following since
the
last movie, yeah.
What happens to him?
Or what was supposed to happen to him? What do you think was supposed to be his story? That he was just supposed to be a nobody, or?
Yeah.
Damn.
Just like us.
Just like that?
Just like us.
Yeah. Okay.
Anybody could wear the mask, remember.
That's true.
Spider-Man is always just a nobody. I mean, he's usually a genius, but I don't think we could be Spider-Man.
Actually, I think it's more of a metaphor.
Yeah. So after that, because now we're just going in order, because I feel like this whole movie was really good. And I was waiting for it to like hit that next level. And it seemed to do that the whole third act.
Yeah.
Just
honestly,
boom,
just
boom, just
back.
smack, just beating the shit out of you. It waited till the 12th round and it knocked you out.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, we get, because again, this is Gwen's movie. It's half Gwen, half Miles, but because it starts and ends with Gwen, I see it as Gwen's movie. And we see her getting together a team.
Oh, yes, sir.
I couldn't believe I got chills during this scene. I mean, I could believe it, but
sir.
I legit had chills like all over my body when I saw the original Spider-Man cast or the Spider-Verse cast. When we see the Nicolas Cage one, we see like I got like nostalgic for them for some reason. I didn't know why.
Oh man, it was
But
just a huge warm hug.
So we see the original cast of characters of Spider-Man, Mans and Woman's,
Penny
Parker,
Peter Porker, Spider Noir,
Nicolas Cage.
Yep.
And then we see the new cast of characters that we love now. And everybody's together. And they're going to go, theoretically, hypothetically, they're going to go to this new universe and save Miles. And this universe is messed up. Like, who knows what villains are there? It's run by villains, I'm assuming, because the whole shit's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. Okay. Any comments on that before I ask you the next question?
Well, they're going in a machine that was made by Hobie, mind you. Hobie was secretly collecting things around Alchemex when he was
I forgot all that.
Really? I mean, I kind of just noticed
because he was stealing shit.
Yeah,
is that what he was doing?
That's what I'm kind of assuming.
Oh my god!
I think he probably knew, dude. Hobie's the shit.
Hobie's the shit.
I think he's my new favorite character because he's very anti-establishment,
everything,
anti-capitalist. He's probably anti-Spider-Man too, or anti-hero. Maybe he considered himself
anti-hero.
Yeah.
Well, he was anti-hero because remember he didn't want to call himself a hero. There you go. He is anti-hero.
Yeah. He's
an anti-hero.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't put that together that he's building something. Because I know Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, helped him out too. Like, she has a little character arc too.
Yeah.
Where Spider-Gwen, Spider-Woman. Gwanda. She has so many names. Spider-Jets. That, she was her pupil. She kind of pushed for her to come in, and then she messed up. She said she wasn't going to help Gwen anymore, but then she does at the end.
Yeah.
So everybody's coming together. Long story short, everybody's coming together to save Miles for this next one. It leaves off at the best cliffhanger. He's tied up. It looks like he's about to break out, and all hell's going to break loose in the third one.
Watch the hands, not the mouth.
Did you say? Okay, that is the line, right? Watch the hands, not the mouth.
Yep.
I didn't realize that either. Like, you're probably a bigger fan than I am. Look at you.
I'm telling you, this is my movie. Well, like Spider-Verse.
Yeah. No, I believe it now. Okay, anything else? We talked about art style. Music. Let's talk about music very quickly. I was going to do this in the spoiler-free section. Did I or no?
No.
To me, easily, I can say this confidently. Best Spider-Verse soundtrack, or definitely better than the first one. Definitely.
Well, I mean, Metro Boomin.
And that's the thing, is like the first one feels like just a collection of songs. Metro Boomin had the like advantage of knowing what he was doing. Like, I'm sure his contact before. I don't know if he's signed to Columbia or what, like Sony. I don't know if he is or not. But regardless, he knew that he had to make or curate. I'm pretty sure he produced all the beats because that's what he does. But I'm sure he curated and got all the artists too. Excuse me. And this album sounds like it's cohesive. Like it is made in the same studio session, where the first one just sounds like a collection of songs. And now that the album's out, I've been just bumping that shit for the past 2 days.
Dude, on repeat.
On repeat. When I'm doing the dish, when I'm at the gym, in the car. You should have been going, what?
What?
When I'm vacuuming.
What?
Editing.
What?
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 Anything else we should talk about? I'm surprised we went this quickly. When we did our John Wick one, which isn't uploaded, we kind of just did that for us for a test run. Our John Wick one went 2 hours and 40 minutes. For John Wick. That's just an action
John
movie.
Wick. It's a crazy ass movie.
Is there anything else you can think of? Anything on your notes?
Let me quick review.
Once again, while she looks at her notes, we're a brand new channel. We appreciate every like. We appreciate every subscription. If you even didn't like it, go ahead and like it. Like it and bounce. If you have some constructive criticism, leave it in the comments. And then leave a like. If you want to just hate us, leave a hate comment.
No, please don't leave
But make sure you hit that like. Anything else?
No, I went over my notes.
I don't want to miss anything. You know what's going to happen is we're going to wrap this up and we're going to wish we said something that we missed.
Yep.
But naturally, that's just how it goes.
That's just how it goes. Did you notice that they oftentimes called her Gwanda? I would hear someone call her Gwanda.
Miles would call her Gwanda.
So cute.
Oh, here's one last thing we'll talk about.
The love story.
The love story. Because I was mentioning to you, the only thing we talked about regarding this movie is that in the first movie, I saw the relationship as a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, he liked her, but as I was saying, when you're that age, you like someone every week.
Yeah.
So this one, I really felt the love between them. Like, I felt like they were both maturing, even though it's only been a year. Maybe it's just him that he finally hit puberty. He's a man.
I'm a man.
A man. So
Well,
I really believe in their love story,
yeah.
and I rarely ship characters. I ship these two. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I know.
Stop playing.
Stop
What are we
playing.
waiting for? All this
The
universe
third
shit.
movie, I guess.
All right. How did you feel about her doing wrong by him, betraying him? And I mean, I do think that it is complicated. She went to the universe to see him. Everything messed up because she wanted to see him, but she did go because she was on a mission.
Yeah, I mean, she was already put in a tough spot because she was saved by these people. Because she, in her original universe, she didn't know what she was going to do there. Like, she was pretty much just going to be left to her own shit, you know? And
Right.
in this one, I feel like she was just basically doing it
Because she had to. Yeah.
survival. But
in that way, she did Miles wrong.
Totally.
And now she's making it right. Like, by the end of the movie, and her character arc, at the beginning of the movie, we find out that she just hasn't found her band because she doesn't belong. And at the end of the movie, it ends with her saying she's finally found her band. And it's just a bunch of Spider-Man that think like her.
Mm-hmm.
See, now that we're talking more, I got a couple more questions, a couple more thoughts. So we do see her go back to her universe, and her dad does accept her, stops being a cop, and accepts her for who she is, loves her. But she finally goes home to face that shit. Well, she goes home for a reason, to help save Miles. Like, she gets that device that Hobie leaves behind too. See, Hobie's so cool. You're right, yeah, because he leaves that device for her.
Yep.
Wow, this movie's coming together.
Yep.
You know what? 10 out of 10. No, I'm gonna leave it at a 9 for now. Why do you think all of these Spider-Men are cool with what Miguel's doing? If you're right and he's not a Spider-Man, why are all of these other Spider-Men doing it? Is it just he just found a bunch of Spider-Men that are like-minded, or that he can manipulate? What's going on there?
That's what I was trying to get down to, but that I couldn't figure out. I do maybe think that he just found, like, I don't know if loophole is the right term, but he kind of just found, like, a consistency that was like, oh.
That
maybe.
was
That was Hobie. Oh, I don't know. I
I hope he doesn't like him.
Oh.
So are you saying he found a consistency, like he found a bunch of people that he could manipulate?
Yeah, I guess so. Because, I mean, if he was, like, traveling between universes, he probably saw, like, oh, hey, Spider-Man in every single universe.
Yeah, and, like, he didn't want Gwen. Like, it seems like he is cherry-picking people.
Yeah. Like,
I hope you're right. I hope he's not a Spider-Man.
I hope so,
because you're right.
too.
He I don't know much about Spider-Man 2099, but you're right. When he does his webs, it doesn't look like web. It looks like just lasers. He just uses technology.
Mm-hmm. Never
Damn.
talks about being bit by a spider.
Well, he's gonna go into his story, and then doesn't it cut off?
I don't remember.
Yeah, we got to watch it again. Well, I think that's a good spot to leave it. I think we touched on everything we wanted to. Again, we're gonna leave something out. If we missed anything, go ahead and leave it in the comments.
Yes, tell us what your favorite part was if you saw the movie.
Go ahead and theorize with us in the comments. What do you think is going to happen in the next one? What do you think about this one? Give it a rating. Just comment something. We're desperate.
Yeah.
Comment.
If you think Miguel is also full of shit, let us know. If you think I'm full of shit,
if you think Miguel's full of shit, hit the like. If you think Jetz is full of shit, hit the like. Just like.
With all my theories.
Theory time. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. That was our first Act 4 media review. Jetsabel, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Spider Jets.
Thank you.
This is your first official appearance. You are our first bench player. You are the sixth man. That's a basketball reference.
Thank you.
Appreciate having you on.
Thank you.
Now, we are going to have a lot of movies coming out this summer, and Misael is in Europe.
Yeah.
He's living his best life.
That boy backpacking.
He's backpacking, yeah.
Yeah.
Hitchhiking. Who knows where he's at? He might not come back.
Don't say that. We're going to have to pull a Taken out there.
A Taken?
Right?
I don't know.
That's what that
I've never seen
about.
that movie.
Oh, I heard it was about a dad whose daughter got abducted.
So Misael's my daughter?
Yeah.
Sick.
Or our child, I guess.
He's our child, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of movies coming out. If you made it this far, again,
thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Go ahead, follow us. Links, everything's in the description. We have a lot of movies coming out soon. We got Transformers coming out next week. I don't know if we're going to do something on that. If you really like it and you want to do this again, we can do something. If not, maybe I could find someone else. Maybe.
I think I'll be down. I loved Transformers when I was younger.
And those are bad.
Those are so bad.
This one looks like it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Different director. Following week is The Flash.
Uh-huh.
So
that one I'll probably
You might
out.
like it. Who knows?
We'll
maybe I can get Augie on that one. Or Saul. Somebody.
See.
Ride Solo?
Ride Solo.
Nah,
yeah.
I can't do that yet. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know. But yeah, this has been fun.
Yeah, it has.
Until next time.
See you later.
Peace out.
Bye.